In the previous video, we made the crown, and now we'll see how to edit the crown, finalize it, and export it. Notice in the Surface tab, a new surface has been added, which is this one. In the Restoration Design Panel tab, Tooth Placement, all these options are available, which is Transform, means I could move the crown, Add Remove, Smooth, and Local Deformation. First, I have to position the tooth in its correct place and angulation using the transform function. So I could rotate it a little. Notice these yellow patches, they are the actual prepared crown. The big arrow will move the whole crown. The small arrow will move the widgets only, and the sphere will move the corresponding side only. Notice only the buccal side is getting thicker, and the lingual side stays as it is. Okay, everything looks nice. Before skipping to the add remove, I have to finalize the transform. So if I look at it buccally, it needs a little bit uprightening, and I push it down a little. Although these yellow patches appeared, but we'll correct them with the add remove function. Notice that there's a gap between the two teeth, so I go to the sphere. Here I'll answer why we selected the scan data, not the cast, because the scan data, as you can see from underneath, there is no base, so we could see the widgets very clearly. If I want to see the widgets from above, I right-click, mouse button, and check Toggle Transparency. Here the model will be transparent, and I can see the widgets clearly. Here I could extend the tooth until it contacts the adjacent tooth, and the same on the other side. Now I want to remove the transparency in order to see the contact area from underneath. Notice that the contact area is heavy at this point, so by pushing the sphere in, we reduce the thickness at this area. Same as in this contact. But you could leave a little bit of contact, and the software will smoothen it out. Now that we're finished with the transform, we select the Add Remove function. I check the model for any places I want to add or remove from it. I notice this area, which is the yellow area, it's contacting the underneath crown. So I have to add material at this point. In order to add, I have to press Shift on the keyboard, and with the left mouse button, I tap it on the area. I could also reduce the depth of the groove by adding to the groove. The cusp height is a little bit more pronounced than the other teeth, so I could remove from the area by pressing Ctrl on the keyboard and tapping with the left mouse button on the height of the cusps. In this proximal area, I notice there's a gap, so I have to add to this area. It's very hard, so I go to the model, left-click, and toggle its visibility. Now I could see it very clear and add to this area. Now I return the visibility of the model from the tab Surfaces and check the contact. Now it's okay. If the contact here is a little bit more than required, I simply go back to Add Remove, press Ctrl, so now I'd remove from the area, and tap with the left mouse button on the areas until I'm satisfied with the results. At the cervical area, I noticed that the crown is a little bit bulky, so I could remove from the area. But now that this has appeared, I simply press Shift, and add to this area until it goes. Now I want to check occlusal contact with the opposing tooth. I go to the Teeth Surface tab and make the maxillary data visible. Notice that the upper crown is prepared, so there is no contact. But I could check here the space between the prepared tooth and the crown. And I could see that it's not enough. So I have to reduce the height of the cusps of the crown. I check the contact again by making the maxilla visible. The space is relatively okay. After finishing the add and remove, I could do with a little smoothing to the crown. This is done by, first I increase the size of the brush, press Shift, and with the left mouse button, tap on the area to smoothen. After that, I press Next. Here the software asks us to adapt the occlusal contact, but we don't have any occlusal contact anyway. But we have a little error over here, so we could also add to this area to remove the error. And click Next, and this is the crown. From the Surface tab, I could remove the visibility of the mandibular data to check the inner surface of the crown. Now I could export it from the Restoration Design panel and click Export. This window will appear for exporting. I have the export quality, the file format, and all the surfaces in the software. I could choose to export just the crown or any other cast with it by simply checking the checkbox in front of the surface I want to export. Now the crown is checked, and I could select to export with it the mandibular stone model. So in the lab, after printing of the crown, they could check the crown and check its seating on the cast. But if I want the lab to add or remove or finalize the crown, it's best to send with it the maxillary and mandibular stone models with the pins. Here I'll select the mandibular stone model with the crown. Press Export. It will ask me where. I'll choose the place on the hard and press Yes. This is the crown, as you can see. And this is the stone model. I could also see the crown on the cast by pressing on the crown and drag drop on the viewer to see the crown on the cast.